Today's opening begins with Void Stout from Full Geek Brew Lab in Winnipeg. They describe it as having a flavor profile ranging from roast to smoke with notes of chocolate and a great mouthfeel. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of roasty and kind of nice. So the first item in says copper wire stripper. All right. Oh, it's that kind of a wire stripper. Okay. So a long time ago, my company Toolbox had a similar kind of stripper that we were using for stripping coax to put BNC connectors on. But the more I look at this one, the more I think it is something slightly different. So you obviously spring it open like that, and there is a little die in here that, fumble. This little die allows you to select the size of the cable that you're stripping, from a smaller one here up to larger outer jackets. So you just put whichever one you want facing down. That's a little fiddly. There you go. And that presses it up against this blade in here. And there's a spring back there that pushes the jacket up into the little jacket outer thing. And, I am confused. Is that not supposed to be in there, or is that a problem? Anyway, there is a small Allen key on the back of here so that Allen key is for adjusting the height of the blade, and there's actually two blades in there. There's this one here with a notch in it. Then there's another one on the back side that sits a little bit lower. And then, like I said, there's that spring that pushes the cable jacket up into the thing. So what you do is put your coax cable. This is RG59, the older cable TV style. And you just put it in there. And then you give it a spin a couple of times. And you just pull it off. And there you have a cable that is prepped for the connector. Very quick and easy. And when you're doing lots of them, like at an installation, that is a major time saver, rather than doing it with a knife or a couple of other pairs of cutters or something like that. Obviously, I don't do a lot of cable TV work anymore, but when I spotted this on probably eBay for cheap, I figured I'd grab it just for those few occasions when I do actually do a little bit of cable TV stuff, putting up antennas and running stuff in the house and that kind of thing. So it's, I think that'll be a handy thing for those few occasions when I need it. Wire stripper knife, crimper plier, crimp phone cable, cutter, electric line cord. Looks like I got this at auction for $5.26 Canadian or $3.99 American. And I'm assuming that if I paid that much, they normally go for much more. Since it was an auction, I'll link you to a search for it. So yeah, there is the truth of the matter. You can use it for RG style cable TV cables. It says up in the top that you can use it for unshielded twisted pair, which is your Cat 5, Cat 6 type cable. And I suppose if you crank one of the stripper blades right down to nothing, so that it's not actually engaging, and just use a single one, and set it for the thickness of your jacket, then you absolutely can use it for any kind of wire that you want. So far, so good. Let's see what else came in the mail. This says connectors. Whole bunch of different connectors. So we have RJ11 style connectors. Oh wait, there's 3 different types here. Hang on, let me pop these out. So these are old school landline style telephone connectors. Generically, they're called RJ11, but registered jack style 11, yeah. But these ones are 6P6C, 6 positions with 6 contacts in it. These are 6P4C, which is the most common one used for landline telephones. And this one is a 4P4C, which is the one used for the handset connection between the base part of the old landline telephone and the handset. The reason that I bought these is my mom asked me to fix her telephone, and because the cord was damaged. And yeah, I know who uses landline phones in these days. People that are 30 years older than me use landline phones, okay? So I discovered that I didn't actually have any connectors in stock. So I grabbed these for that purpose. And while I was at it, I grabbed these 6P6C because those are the ones that the Digitrax Model Railroad DCC system uses for its handsets. And I have a few of those around here, although I haven't used them in a while, and I thought that would be a handy thing to have since I was buying them anyway. Other thing in the package was 2 of these little breakouts. This is RJ45 or 8P8C for those who prefer that nomenclature. And it has on the back of it an 8-position screw terminal, which is a pluggable one. So that is a nice handy little testing breakout to have. Got the male one and also the female version. I don't think we have to look too close at the details for these. We have the one-piece RJ45 screw terminal adapter female. We have the male, and we have the 3 other RJ11 type connectors. The RJ45 female cost me $2.25 Canadian. The male cost me $2.39. The RJ11s cost $1.24 for the 6P6C. For the 4P4C cost $1.05. That's the handset ones, and the 6P4C ones cost me $1.21 for the pack. I got 20 of each of those connectors. Well, this is doing pretty well so far. What do we have next? It says banana plugs. Okay. Looks like 2 different kinds in here, or at least 2 different packaging. So let's just open this one. It is dual. They look gold-ish plated. Okay. 2 of those, and these ones look exactly the same. So these are just handy, either binding posts or banana jacks. You can use them for either. You can use them for plugging banana plugs into like that, or you can spin them up. There's a hole in there. You can stick a wire in and clamp it down and put any kind of a wire you want, or if you got fork terminals on your wire, you can stick it under there as well. They make good positive contact generally. They're fairly rugged, and they are just really convenient for things like power supplies, which is what I use them for a lot. You find them on some higher power amplifiers, audio amplifiers, as the speaker output as well. Test equipment, of course, tends to have banana jacks on it of various different types. So, yeah, just handy to have some in stock. And I'm pretty sure I grabbed these after I finished building that dual rail power supply, just because I found that I didn't have very many left. And these ones seem to be a little bit more heavy duty than the ones that I did have in stock, so yay for that. 2-piece banana plug binding post terminal connector socket dual female banana. $4.18 for a pair of them. I bought 2 pairs, so you do the math on that. There is a wide variety of different types of these banana plugs and jacks and adapters and things that you can get. Not too much to say about them. They're 20 millimeter center to center from one jack to the other. They claim to be zinc plated, and then they also claim to be gold plated, so who knows. Rolling right along here, we have electric components. Yeah, a mystery, a nice mystery. What do we got? Well packaged in bubble wrap so it doesn't get damaged. Oh, a few different things. First of all, I have some more banana jacks, this time single ones in red and black, which are similar to the kind of cheap ones that I had before, and I've used a bunch of them, so restocking. 10 pieces, 4mm binding plug jack socket, female binding posts for speaker audio. The 10 of them, 5 red and 5 black, cost me an entire $3.11 Canadian with $1.28 shipping. Not much different between these ones and the other ones. These ones are a little bit less heavy duty, but they claim 5 amps, so who knows. And from the same seller, these are heatsink insulators for TO220 devices. These blue pads are thermally conductive, electrically insulating, and they go between, so they go between the heatsink of the component and the actual heat sink to electrically insulate them. So if the tab of your devices, and you have multiple devices on a single heat sink, if the tab is at different electrical potentials, that prevents ugly little short circuits in your system. Also, it prevents your heatsink from becoming live at whatever voltage you're using, just in case your heatsink is something that people can touch. And then these little top hat washers are the other half of the equation. They go right there, and your metal hardware can be electrically insulated from the tab of your heatsink here, and can go through so that nothing can short circuit. It's something that's been around forever. It's not anything magical or special. I just didn't happen to have any, and now I do. From the same seller, 100 pieces TO220 white transistor plastic washer, insulation washer, and pads silicone. $2.42 plus $1.28 shipping for 100 of each. Don't think there's much else to say about them here. They are 100% brand new and high quality, allegedly. Color is white, except for the blue part. And the last one in. This one came to my P.O. box, so I have no idea who it is. But since it came from the drop shipping warehouse, I am going to guess that it was ordered from China on my behalf. Let's see what we got here. A bunch of little slide switches. Okay. So these are a single pole dual throw switch. When the switch is in this position, then these two contacts are connected together. When the switch is in that position, these two contacts are together. Does it say on here what the rating of this is? I don't see it anywhere. Although given the brand name, I wouldn't expect them to be a super high current sort of a thing. Still, for low voltage, low current, they will be perfectly handy. Thank you to whoever sent these. 3-pin slide switch SPDT. That's not a bad set of search terms. This randomly chosen seller is selling 10 of them for $229 American or 50 for $369. So that's pretty reasonable price, I think, for these. And as I suspected, they are fairly low power, half an amp at 50 volts DC. If you're using them for, Arduino projects and things like that, they will be just fine for that level of power. And there we have the contents of today's Mailbag Monday haul. Quite the variety. Always like to get another cheap tool, and I think this one will actually be useful for the few times I need this specific application, so that's nice. Banana Jacks, mostly just restocking and getting another type that I didn't have before. Again, useful consumables to have. The RJ11 connectors, now I can fix my mom's phone properly and she will be happy with me. And I've got stock for the next time she trips over the cord and damages it. These insulators for TO220 devices, very handy to have, and I'm surprised that I didn't have any when I was building that power supply before. These RJ45 male and female to breakout will come in handy just for random testing and stuff like that. You never know. It's just useful little gadgets like that. Use it once, it's paid for itself, right? And finally, these switches from an anonymous benefactor. Thank you so much for sending those in. Those will be added to my collection of assorted switches and will no doubt get used at some random project in the future. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to my YouTube channel members and my Patreon supporters for helping me support the channel, helping me keep the beer fridge full, and helping me keep the mailbags rolling in. Always appreciated. And of course, if you have any comments or questions, you can leave it down below as usual. Oh, and if you're into these kind of mailbag videos, there's going to be a pop-up over here in a second that has a whole playlist full of them if you're interested. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.